How you doing? Darren Scott here with ClearH2O Tackle. Want to introduce a newly launched rod from Loomis. This is one of the most anticipated launches in the last few years in rods that I can remember. The new E6X series of rods. E6 standing for the sixth element, carbon, and X standing for technology. One of the unique things about this series of rods is that there's actually 2 or 3 series within the series. You've got the old school bass rods, let's call them, the mag bass series, and then you've got the species and or technique specific side of things where you are creating a rod built to do one particular thing. So anglers of all levels, whether you are the old school bass guy that loves the mag bass rods, there's rods for you. Whether you're the new guy on the block that wants the best, the lightest, the most crisp, technique specific rod available, both will be there. Whether it's a crankbait rod, drop shot rod, flipping and punching rod, they're all in this series. And all the rods are labeled with the typical Loomis picturing, indicating what those are, as well as a typical Loomis numbers and letters, which represents the powers and the styles of rods. So what about these rods and the technology that they're built with makes them a very viable choice, if not the best choice, in that sub $200 category of fishing rods? Well, you've got a mandrel, which is the inner part of the rod that is a single mandrel, which means that you can get a very crisp taper, very light action rod. You can expect whatever performance you want to be with that rod with the single mandrel as opposed to a multiple level mandrel. Same technology that's with the NRX rods. You've got the finish, you've got the components. The components, this is loaded up with Fuji components, everywhere from the reel seats, the hook keep, which is a unique little different style of hook keep, as well as the guides, which are perfectly suited to fish today's braided line, fluorocarbons, and or monofilaments. Very popular, very light reel seats integrated into the handle design. You've got handles that can be full cork, handles that are split grips. All that has to do with weighting and actions of the rod. So they've really done a lot of things to be able to offer several different technologies working together to make this rod the best that it can be. Here I am holding 2 of the new E6X spinning rods. One of them being the SGR series, one of them being the JWR series. Well, what's the difference, everybody wants to ask when they're looking at these rods. The SWR series is more of a traditional styling, more of a traditional blank as far as the taper and the action goes. These are going to be kind of a catch-all, where the 7-foot medium is a rod you might use for a lot of different things, whereas the 7-foot medium or 7-foot medium heavy in the JWR series might be specific to, let's say, jig fishing or Senko fishing or something that is technique specific. Differences in these rods, as you can notice, are the blanks, the way that the handle is put together. One of them has a split grip handle, one of them has a full cork handle. A lot of this has to do with the balancing of the rod. Where do you want that weight? How do you want that weight distributed? How light do you want that rod to be? How heavy do you want that rod to be? Those are the two main, or that's the one main difference in the rods. How do you decipher which rod is which? Well, Loomis has been doing for years a little picture on their rod blanks. The JWR has the jig and worm on it. The SJR has just the Loomis, I call it the mag bass, basically. So those are the things, and you can see in these close-ups the unique coloring scheme that these have, very noticeable, set themselves apart from other rods. Also kind of represents the younger generation. Welcome to the family. Buy a Loomis, always buy a Loomis. Here we're going to look at 3 of the other sort of the series within the series rods in this E6X lineup. You've got the crankbait series, everywhere from a 7-foot medium up to a heavy action crankbait rod. So got you covered from the small square bills all the way up to the bigger Sea Flash, the bigger Strike Kings. That'll get you covered on those. Then we move to a hot technique, and a lot of rods are out there. This one's something that you should definitely take a look at. This is a 610 drop shot rod. A couple different drop shot rods in the E6X lineup so far, and you can see that they've got the drop shot picture on them. So this is one of those technique specific as opposed to kind of a catch-all. And then you've got the big boy. You got the 7.5 heavy, the flipping and punching rod. This here 7.5 heavy action. This is one of those rods that you can really get into those mats with. You can get into that slop up on the bank. But this rod is light. This is a very light rod, even with the full cork handle, and it has a lot of power. Durability so far, that's what we're hearing, that it's very durable. Had some guys in Okeechobee with these rods just last week, so we're looking forward to testing them out ourselves. Wrapping up with this segment, I just want to say that I'm actually very excited to fish these rods. I have not gotten a chance yet. There's still 2 feet of ice on most of the lakes around here. But we will definitely be out there field testing these in the near future. We're going to get some in local anglers' hands. We want some immediate feedback, but everything so far has been great. Next time you're in the shop, take a look at these rods. We'll be more than happy to probably have some demos, let you demo some out, answer questions, help you choose what model is going to best suit you for what you need on your deck this summer.